commands. And EDP commands are a great way to communicate with your indicator to get new information or to configure the scale a particular way. EDP is for electronic data processing commands. And these, every indicator has a list of commands. The 1280 has a pretty extensive list of commands that we can use to communicate with it. So you do want to make sure that you consult the particular manual for the indicator that you have for a complete list of all of the EDP commands that you can use to communicate. And this comes in handy. Sometimes you may want to have a third-party software developer come in and create something for you that you can install on your computer and communicate with your scale and pull up weight data and do all kinds of neat things with it. And these are the kinds of commands that you would use. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some communication software in order to do this. The example that we have up on our screen right now is PuTTY. PuTTY is a free application. It's what we would simply call a terminal program. But we like to recommend this one because it's free. And so the price is right. We can make our connection to the 1280 and we can verify that we're communicating. Now I've already went ahead of time here and gotten everything set up and wired to the laptop here so that we can show you some examples of how sending individual commands can get us some information back. And so one of the first ones that we typically do is to send this command called version. And so we just simply type the word version here on our laptop and we press enter and it responds with the version of firmware that's currently running on the indicator. In this case, we have 2.07.05 running on this particular 1280, and it also lets us know that it's a 1280 indicator there as well. And so this can be a great way to verify that firmware version if maybe you didn't have a way to get into the menu of the indicator itself. You can check it this way. Another great one that's used often is to query the indicator for the amount of weight that's currently on the display. I can see from the screen of the 1280 itself that we have 3,591 pounds on the display. Now the command here is XG, and then I'm going to use a pound sign followed by the number 1. So this is going to tell us to get the gross weight from scale 1. And then when we press enter, it's going to respond with 3,591 pounds. So this is very useful information. Now, all it's giving us is 3,591 pounds. We know that it's the gross weight because that was the command that we sent. Now we can also emulate, say, pressing the print key. And so here, I'm going to type K followed by print. So this is the equivalent of pressing the print key. That's the idea of the K out front, meaning key. So press the print key. Now we're going to hit enter. And we actually get back a response from the indicator saying OK, that it received the command and it's responding that way. But then it also gives us no printer hooked up, but we see that gross weight format. In this case, the word gross followed by the gross weight followed by the time and date. That's the default format on there. We can also perform things like a tare, any of the key buttons that are there. So we might press K followed by the word tare, and when we press enter, we see now that the unit responded with OK, that it successfully received the command, and then we can verify on the display of the 1280 that it did in fact tear off that 3,591 pounds, and we see an indication there that we're now in the net mode. So this is very helpful, again, when you want to control things from a distance, whether you're setting up something to make sure that it works properly without using actual product or things like that. You can simulate some things this way, and it can be very useful.